Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Do what you love, the money will follow. If you're like most of us, you had a positive reaction when you first came across this modern problem. It immediately feels inspiring. This popular song became an especially contagious meme before most of us even knew what a meme was. The saying paraphrases another well-worn axiom: find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life. The adage re-emerged during the self-help publishing avalanche of the 1970s. The roots of self-help in mass market publishing go back to the 1930s. The two most famous examples of early self-help literature are Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich and Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Of course, we can reach much further back in time, all the way to ancient Greece and Rome, to the discourses of Epictetus and the meditations of Marcus Aurelius, which we could consider early self-help guides. In 1989, Marcia Sinitar published her book, Do What You Love, The Money Will Follow, with the secondary title, so many self-help books have a secondary title, Discovering Your Right Livelihood. Sinitar is a spiritually oriented author of several philosophical and motivational works. To the extent Ms. Sinitar encourages us to break out of dismal patterns of thinking, encourages us to nurture our self-confidence, encourages us to soberly assess our strengths and weaknesses, and encourages us to explore the possibilities of making our passions our actual careers, the book succeeds. Also central to its message, the author asks her readers to examine their current jobs, workplaces, or careers, to find ways to cultivate the love or passion for the work they already perform. Please let me assure you that I have no problem with Ms. Sinitar's book or the author herself. It's useful as far as it goes, particularly if someone is feeling stuck in a workplace rut. Still, do what you love, the money will follow, reeks a little bit of privilege to me. Maybe more than a little. My own resume reflects my personal good fortune. I forged a career as a graphic designer, illustrator, technical writer, editor, speechwriter, and web designer, voice artist, and musician. I turned my compulsory high school diploma and a handful of university credits into a career. It often served me as a fulfilling and passion-fueled working life. I toiled in the vineyards of a mid-sized city newspaper, the Pasadena Citizen, pasting up classified ads for minimum wage. At the time, it was $1.65 an hour. That's how seasoned I am. I parlayed my 2 years of high school photography into occasional display advertising photography and news shots. I made friends with the off-page editor and published frequent editorial cartoons. I took samples of that work to the Houston Post and worked for 4 months, even though I was hired to fill in for another graphic artist's 6-week sabbatical. That in turn got me a middle management position as production manager in Houston City News Magazine. That part of my curriculum vitae took place nearly 50 years ago. I owe my success, and I do consider my working life successful, to so much more than personal initiative alone. I benefited from education, professional training, personal connections, seizing opportunity, favorable economic conditions, and other intangible factors. Factors over which we have little or no control. Much of my success comes down to luck. We've all been in the right place at the right time and profited from our decisions. Since then, I've worked in private and public education, medicine, law, publishing and printing, public relations, aerospace, the energy industry, journalism, radio and television advertising, and music. That's the perk of living in a diversified economy in the country's fourth largest city, or fifth largest city, depending on how you measure it. It's hard to keep up with that. 4 of my assignments included labor union membership. I've kept my status with 2 of those unions to this day. Not every minute of every workday meant doing what I absolutely loved. I'm sure we've all had our share of dysfunctional managers, frustrating office politics, toxic corporate cultures, and downright hostile workplaces. But despite suffering in mind-numbing or humiliating jobs from time to time, I do understand how lucky I've been. We must realize that not everyone gets the opportunity to follow their passion. The clerks, the salespeople, the tradespersons, the service workers, or the caregivers I meet may or may not be living the dream. White collar or blue collar, entry level or business owner, manager or CEO, none of us is guaranteed satisfaction as part of the work routine. When I'm being my best self, I try to give another old saying, the customer is always right, a little less weight. Instead, I try to emphasize the watchword, you can't really know a person until you've walked a mile in their shoes. In entry-level jobs, and often during my professional career, I did indeed share some of those experiences. Like all of us, I'm prey to feeling entitled to instant gratification. It seems to be an ever-accelerating desire for instant gratification. And that instant keeps getting shorter and shorter. More than once I've lost my patience and, let's just say, not exactly displayed the better angels of my nature. Beginning this Labor Day, I hope we can all be mindful of the dignity of all work. Let's be mindful of the dignity of every worker who serves us in whatever capacity they serve us. All over this planet, workers grow, harvest, process, package, transport, sell, and service our food. They cultivate, formulate, and distribute the medicines on which our very lives depend. They gather and deliver all the consumer goods we can now order with a tap of our fingers on our smartphones. They pick up, haul off, and dispose of all the consumer goods we can now order with a tap of our fingers on our smartphones. They put on uniforms and carry weapons to protect us. They respond if we collapse in the street. They teach us, and especially our children, the vital skills we all use to navigate our lives. Since I just mentioned teachers, I'd like to spend a moment reflecting on them and their love for the profession. I've often heard many folks, usually high with politicians. Repeat the well-worn adage, the teachers take the job primarily for their love of teaching. They strongly imply that pay and benefits run a distant second. It's a backhanded compliment that also gives politicians cover to dismiss teachers' concerns. Today's public officials cut funds for public education. They issue mandates and place content restrictions on school districts while reducing available resources. They insist on privatizing former public school functions like maintenance, transportation, and food service. This makes former public employees at-will corporate contractors. They confound and hamstring teachers while mixing their praises. All the teachers I know are indeed passionate about their job. I want teachers and all school employees to love their careers, but everyone deserves fair compensation, job security, a safe workplace, and a supportive community. Most teachers certainly do love their work, but we can't expect them to thrive on love alone. Sure, we could save a lot of money if their pay envelopes contained not a check, but a valentine. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it hasn't crossed the mind of a certain Houston Independent School District executive who shall remain nameless. My heart goes out to anyone committed to public school teaching, especially in today's environment. We all meet folks who seem to be enjoying their jobs. Whether their happiness, positivity, and cordial demeanor comes from their own upbeat personal nature or the nature of their satisfying work, these people are an absolute joy. Some of us have been that work. Let's be grateful for everyone serving us who loves their work. Let's be grateful for everyone serving us who's struggling to get through their shift. Let's be grateful if we love our current working life. Let's be grateful for earning a living even while we seek something more fulfilling. Let's be grateful if we're retired and enjoyed a work life that let us pursue our passion. Let's be grateful if we're retired and endured a boring, uninspiring career. Let's be grateful for every moment we get the chance to do what we love. The money may or may not follow. Your results may vary. Happy Labor Day.